You're watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the January 24th meeting of the LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau Board of Managers. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Order the January 24th, 2023 meeting of the Board of Managers for the LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau. May we have the roll call, please?
Oh,
Doug Waters,
here.
Mike Seitz,
Present.
Laura Krantz, Adam Konechny,
Here.
Martha King, here, Stacy Benning,
Present.
Corinne Myers, here, Pat Harris,
Here.
Becky Greenlaw.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you for that. Do we have any public comments at this time? Hearing none, I would like to introduce our newest board member, Stacy Benning. Stacy comes to us from the LaPorte County Probation Office, and she's a probation officer. We'd like to welcome her, Stacy.
Thank you.
And just for her benefit, please, we're just going to go around the table and introduce ourselves so she knows what name goes with what face. Start, Becky.
I'm Becky Greenlaw.
Tell where you're from.
I'm from Horizon Bank, and this is my second year on the board, so fairly new too.
I'm Doug Waters, and I'm from Long Beach Realty. Work there. I've been here, I don't know how long.
Forever.
Forever. Like you,
Yeah.
Jack, and Linda.
Martha King, I'm from Legacy Tour and Travel Report. I've been here forever off and on.
I'm Pat Harris. I'm with the Indiana Black Expo, and I've been here for a while. I'm the board president.
We've already met, Stacy and I.
And we've met too. Hi, Stacy, and welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, good morning. I'm Angela Gagan. I'm the Director of Sales at Bleach.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Mike Seitz and I'm from nowhere.
He's from everywhere.
He had a home.
No, thank you.
I know Stacey.
I know Nelson. Hi. I know.
Hi, I'm Jason Nichols. I work with Applegate Company. We do the outside audits here.
I'm Corinne Myers. I own a small business in LaPorte and work for Francis Alliance.
Adam Konechny, owner of Doolin Media in LaPorte.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Glad to have you. Exciting industry, an exciting board, an exciting organization, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Okay, this month we have to do the first month of the year, we always do our election of officers. We've had a nominating committee put our slate together, and I would like to have Martha King serve on the committee. I'll ask her to please present the slate.
I would like to present the following slate for your consideration. Pat Harris as president, Doug Waters vice president, Becky Greenlaw treasurer, and Laura Krantz as secretary.
Okay, you've heard the slate. I'll now open the floor for any nominations. No eager beavers.
Nomination be closed.
Okay,
Second.
we have a motion to close the nominations and a second.
I second. Corinne Myers, I second.
Oh,
Oh,
you
I'm
did
sorry. I thought you were
second. She did
asking
second.
Haven't had enough coffee.
That's fine. The hearing, no questions. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry. We need to do a roll call vote for that too. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear who made the motion and second. for
Doug made the motion
actual
and the
slate.
second was Martha.
Thank you. Please signify by saying aye and raising your hand on the motion to approve the slate as presented for officers for the LaPorte County Convention Visitors Bureau, Visit Michigan City, LaPorte for 2023. Doug Waters,
Aye.
Mike Seitz,
Aye.
Adam Konechny,
Aye.
Martha King,
Aye.
Stacy Benning,
Aye.
Corinne Myers, Pat Harris,
Aye.
Becky Greenlaw.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you for that. So we're in it again, you guys, and I thank you for volunteering, even though your arms were twisted a little. But thank you for agreeing to serve again. We'll have a great year this year. We're looking forward to it. We now have our minutes presented to you in the email distribution that went out, and we would like to have a motion to approve them.
Motion to approve the minutes as written.
We have a motion by Doug Waters and a second by Becky Greenlaw to approve our November 22 meeting. I bet those two 22s in there confusing me. We have a motion to approve and a second. Any question on the motion? Those in favor, let's have our roll call vote. New year.
Martha King,
Aye.
Stacy Benning,
Should I abstain because I wasn't here for that?
No, sir.
Have you reviewed it on, did you receive the email?
I think it was part of that packet. I got a lot of stuff when we met. I reviewed everything. If it was in there, I
You
did.
can vote on it.
Okay, aye.
Corinne Myers. Aye. Becky Greenlaw,
Aye.
Pat Harris,
Aye.
Adam Konechny,
Aye.
Mike Sykes,
Aye.
and Doug Waters.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Okay, now we've moved right down into, you know what?
Jason,
You want to do it now? I was going to do it.
it's up to you,
No, I
but
was going to do it after the financials.
it's completely your call.
Okay, let's have our, let's go ahead and have our audit review report. Jack seems to be anxious.
Well, no, I just wanted to get Jason on the road so we didn't disrupt much of his day. So you want me to introduce him? Go ahead. Where you going?
Yeah, well, we have Jason with us again this year from Applegate and Company to give us our audit report. You all did receive it in your email packet, and I hope you all had a chance to really read through it because there's some good stuff in there. They always do a great job for us. So I'm going to ask Jason now to go ahead and do the audit review with us. Thank you.
I gave you guys all two items. One is a smaller package. It's required communication with those charged with governance, which is the board. We didn't find anything as usual. They did a great job here. We had our standard journal entries for depreciation and whatnot, but nothing major. Talking quiet?
Yes.
Sorry, it's a bad habit. The letter is clean, essentially. Everything that's in here is just required wording that we're, saying that we didn't find any problems. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it and waste your time. The other one is the actual audit report. Page 1 is the opinion, and it's clean. Financial statements referred to above present fairly and all material respects in accordance with the modified cash basis of accounting, and we are happy. So just to go through the numbers quickly, because again, when we don't find anything, there's really not a lot to talk about other than the numbers. So I only have one recommendation for the board, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Page 4 is your income statement. The major swing this year was from 1.4 million to 2.3 million of innkeeper's tax. The impact of the third-party rental requirements really made a big swing for you guys, which is fantastic to see. You did see the special events revenue about midway down that revenue section increase because obviously you did not have the boat race in 2020, so that's going back into active. The bulk of your money got spent on program expenses, which is what we like to see for nonprofits. The details of that are on page 6, so we'll just jump back to it real quick. There's only a few things that really swung, and the main one was the special event activities expenses, which is the boat race. Obviously, you didn't have hardly any expense for that for 2020 and funds in 2021. That's a major driver of things for this entity. You did have a new line item just a little bit higher than that one on the page, NITDC expense. That's all your partner services and toll road advertising with NITDC. So that's kind of a new breakout that we didn't see before. But that's where the most of the increase of money went to for this year. Jumping back to page 4, I'm going fast, but if you have any questions, stop me, because I know this is kind of boring sometimes when you've already went through this numbers on a monthly basis. The other income and expense area, last year you had about $194,000 of money between the Paycheck Protection Program and the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. You did not have that this year, so that was a big swing downward. But even in spite of that, because of all the additional revenue, your net income was within a few $1,000s of last year. So really good to see continuous high net income numbers. Essentially left you with 2.2 million of net assets without donor restrictions, which is a huge chunk of change to be sitting on, which is nice, strong position. And that leads me to my only recommendation is all of that net assets is in cash. So I think you guys should look into putting it into CDs or money markets or whatever's allowed for this organization. Because I mean, it's silly to sit on it and not be earning interest or anything. So.
Yeah, Jack and I had a discussion around that, according to your recommendation. And we are going to have Becky Greenlaw, who's our treasurer, we're going to appoint her as the chairman for our finance committee to look into those options that are available to us to do something with those funds and how to structure that.
Good. So that's it. There's no new footnotes this year to discuss. It's all the same stuff that's there every year, and I really don't have a lot to talk about it, which is fortunate.
We're okay with that. Don't feel bad. We're okay with that.
You've definitely done a great job running it. And, like I said, very clean books, and we're happy to be able to do the work for you.
Well, once again, Jason, on behalf of the Bureau, staff, board, we thank you for doing a great job with us and guiding us through this process, because we do handle a lot of funds, and knowing that we're doing it the right way is important. So thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
I'm going to add her to the appointment list.
Okay, we need to enter this.
The approval. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna do that.
Okay.
Okay. So I need to ask for the board to make a motion for approval of the audit report as presented by Applegate and Company.
So moved.
Second.
We got a motion by Mike Seitz and a second by Stacy Benning to approve our audit report. Let's have the roll call vote, please.
Discussion.
Are there any further discussions? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, the reason I inserted that, if it's okay, can I say a few words?
Sure.
Not being a board member, but I think it's important that for the edification of everybody watching and our new board members, Applegate is an extension of the State Board of Accounts. They were one of the approved companies that we were allowed to use to do our audits. And so the next step is, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, but once the board approves this and you finish tying this together, you'll send it to State Board of Accounts for the final stamp, correct? Yep. And I would just like to say that, this is our 12th year in a row, I think, where we've had no glitches. And most of that comes from the help that Applegate gave us early on in giving us best practices and following that. And since Gail's been here, it just went the right direction. A lot of the credit goes certainly to our operation and finance department of the Bureau. But we've got some good direction. But anytime you can run an organization of this size with the amount of transactions that we run and have zero glitches in your finances is something to really be proud of, and we appreciate the partnership. So I just want to make sure everybody knew the flow and how this was going.
It's good to know. Any other discussion? If not, Gail, please. Thank you.
Becky Greenlaw,
Aye.
Pat Harris,
Aye.
Corinne Myers,
Aye.
Stacy Benning,
Aye.
Martha King,
Aye.
Adam Konechny,
Aye.
Mike Seitz,
Aye.
and Doug Waters.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can hang around if you like.
Maybe next time.
You always say that. Okay, moving right along, we're going to go into our officers' report at this time. And also at the beginning of the year, we always do our reappointment of our agencies and our special committees. So at this time, I'm going to ask Gail if she'll read off the appointments as I have made them. And I would ask that you add our chair for our finance committee as Becky Greenlaw.
as Pat indicated, she has shared the following recommended reappointments and one new appointment. As our legal counsel, Nelson Cardo of Friedman and Associates. CPA firm, Applegate and Company. Insurance, Dodd Insurance Agency and Blake Insurance, Blake. Retirement account firm is Fax, and the administrator is American Funds. Special appointments, LaPorte County Ag Association, Mike Seitz. The FMEC, Pat Harris. And now our Finance Committee being led by Chair Becky Greenlaw.
Thank you.
You're going to add Mike as the legislative guy?
No, we haven't done that yet.
Okay.
What?
He was just asking about, he was asking about appointing you to the legislative committee. We haven't done that. We haven't done that yet. We'll do that. We can do that at a later time.
Yeah.
So I need a motion to approve the appointments as presented.
I make a motion to approve the appointments as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Doug Waters and a second by Martha King to accept the appointments for 2023 as presented. Can we have a roll call?
Yes. Adam Konechny,
Aye.
Mike Seitz,
Aye.
Doug Waters,
Aye.
Becky Greenlaw,
Aye.
Pat Harris,
Aye.
Corinne Myers,
Aye.
Stacy Benning.
Aye.
And Martha King.
Aye.
Thank you for that. All right, moving right along, we're going to move right into our treasurer's report.
Okay, so we have 2 months of finances to approve. So first of all, for November, total accounts payable was $141,844.41. November total payroll, $72,333.36, for a grand total of $214,177.77. And I have all the financial reconciliation, P&L budget performance for both months to pass. But Pat, you wanted to approve them?
Yes, I'm going to do them
separately?
separately, simply because we do have December as our year end. Otherwise, I just put them together. Okay, for our November financials and our accounts payables and claims and so forth, I need an approval or a motion.
Motion to approve the financials as read.
Second.
We have a motion by Doug Waters and a second by Martha King to accept the November 2022 financials as presented. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
This is to approve the November financials. Martha King,
Aye.
Stacy Benning,
Aye.
Corinne Myers,
Aye.
Pat Harris,
Aye.
Becky Greenlaw,
Aye.
Doug Waters,
Aye.
Mike Seitz,
Aye.
and Adam Konechny.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay, and then for December 2022, total accounts payable, $195,602.38. Total payroll for December, $46,331.94, for a grand total of $241,934.32. And I have both months' statements of financial position, the P&L budget performance, the bank accounts, and their reconciliations for review and signature.
Jack, did you have any comments on the year end that you would like to share with us at this time?
Sure. I think that's a good time, isn't it? Yeah, good. It's kind of leaks into some of my report, but Amy's going to touch on this when she gives the heads and beds report. But I think you all know, now that we once again have moved the needle in our income. I think Jason alluded to the fact that over the last several years, we've had substantial increases every year in innkeeper tax. And we've been able to keep the cost down, and so therefore there's a net gain, which, you know, I always like to say we're not a savings and loan, so the money will get put to good use. It'll get put back out in the community, and we're looking forward to doing the same thing again next year.
He quoted a figure for 2021 at 2.2 million, and I just wanted to make sure everybody is aware that when Becky's doing her research, it's going to be a bigger number than that, because we added to that in 2022. So we're continuing to do very well at the Bureau, and a lot of this is, as he said, heads and beds and innkeeper's tax. We've been able to really recoup some monies that were not being captured before, and that's thanks to staff. Amy and her team have done a very good job of going out and getting those innkeeper's tax that weren't being paid before. That's a biggie. So with that, we'll ask for a motion.
Motion to approve is read.
Second.
We have a motion by Martha King and a second by Stacy Benning to approve our December 2022 financials as presented. Roll call, please.
Doug Waters,
Aye.
Mike Sykes,
Aye.
Adam Konechny,
Aye.
Becky Greenlaw,
Aye.
Corinne Myers,
Aye.
Pat Harris,
Aye.
Martha King,
Aye.
Stacy Bennett.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, well, moving right along here. It's a lot to do that first meeting of the year. This brings us to our CEO report. Jack, are you ready to tell us all the great things?
Yeah. Actually, most of this report today will probably be coming from staff and our community partners, our event directors. I'm going to devote quite a bit of time today to that. I do have a couple things at the top of my list under operation and finances. Gail, do you have anything else to tie up for first meeting of the year with the board?
Just have a couple housekeeping items. In front of each of you is a draft roster of the board members with your personal information, contact information, etc. I just ask that you all give that a look, and if there's anything that you would like to have changed for yourself, please let me know. And then the second thing is, if anyone feels that they need to complete a conflict of interest form, I have those available to, this morning, blank for each of your entities, and please just ask me for one. We have had the ones that I fully expected already submitted, completed, so that's all.
Thanks, Gail. You'll recall in the minutes that you approved today, there were 3 items in November that the board directed Nelson and I to work on and actually execute. You gave us the approval pending a couple things, and I can report back that number 1, the lease for the office as directed went through, been signed, and we're good for 5 years. Got a 5-year lease. Nelson, great job with that. I thought you, although negotiations were somewhat limited, I thought you really impacted them and moved that needle on the discussion. So appreciate the good job with that. That was great. It's never easy to hammer out a lease and try to keep the cost down, and you did a good job for us. Thank you. The second item that you directed us to work on was the contract with OPA for the boat race, and that was finalized again with Nelson's approval, and I signed it, and it's been signed by OPA, so we officially have a race for 2023.
Good.
And Rick will touch on that. He and Dee and some others talk a little bit about some of that in a little bit. And the last contract that you moved forward for Nelson and I to finish up was the contract with Dunlin Media for our website upgrade, and same thing. We got that finalized, got that set, And we're actually, Amy is moving forward at a rapid pace, so getting that going, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So next week,
whatever.
right, we'll be done with the.
More days.
Yeah, so anyway, those were the three items that were pending from actually November, because we didn't meet in December.
So we'll give you 4 items this year.
Yeah, that's good. So I expect to have for your review at our February meeting, the contracts for the 2 aquacross races. The plan is for Rick to have them in time so Nelson can approve them, get them to you, so we can tie that up in one meeting, not kick it down like we did the other.
Are you gonna review the dates with us later in your presentation?
If you like.
Yes.
Basically last year's schedule, one day up. But I'll-
Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah, the
make sure when
dates.
you're
Yeah.
ready to give those dates, please, that's a good idea. Yeah. So that'll be, should be on the February docket, assuming P1 gets that back timely. And I expect, okay. All right, so in this last few weeks, we've made some decisions on the block party. If you'll recall, last year, our partners at Main Street decided that they weren't gonna be able to take on that function again of the taste and the block party, and we, the city, came to us and said, can you take care of this? And we did, and it worked really well. And so, but this year we're getting ahead of the game. We know that we've already got the dates, the situation with the city with the street closures and everything's already been done. Terry's taking care of all that. What we had to do in the last few weeks was settle on vendors to run it. We interviewed some folks. We're going to go with D again to head up the block party. I have made a formal request to Main Street to work with them on obtaining the rights for the Taste of Michigan City. They own that. And hopefully we'll be able to come to some kind of an agreement on that.
Is there something with not using block party as the event title?
The Taste is, talking to our marketing folks, Pat, the Taste has been here since day one. And that the amount of branding and marketing that center around the Taste of Michigan City versus the 1-year marketing of the block party is just, it's too much to look aside. You know, there's just too much there out there. And it will open up maybe a broader, more vendors. Let's just put that. Last year we had to reduce it into a small vending area. If we go with our true taste, it'd probably open up for D to work vendors down Franklin versus just in that one small area.
Right.
But that's yet to be seen. But either way, we're gonna have a block party, okay, and a parade. It's just, will it be the Taste? We'll be able to use that name.
Just curious.
Yeah. Something we wanted to do, but we don't own it, so we just work with them, and we've had correspondence with Main Street as late as last night, back and forth, and they're gonna bring it up at their board meeting, and maybe we can come to an agreement. And I'll get, if there's any finances involved, Nelson, of course, you'll be brought into that. All right, good. I sent you all some legislative updates. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm not gonna go over it. If you got any questions, I'd be glad to.
Yeah, we're, as Doug alluded to, we're gonna have to talk about a legislative committee. I didn't wanna put Mike on the spot, but there's some things in here that we really need to make sure we keep our eyes on. I hope you all had a chance to really review that, because those are gonna be some things important for tourism throughout the state, but specifically to our county.
Yeah, and we kind of walked away, if you recall, from us doing the legislative part. Now it's kind of being run through NITDC now, a little more than this board. Now, if you want to put a liaison on, that's awesome.
I'm thinking a liaison so that this group keeps,
It's the updates. Yeah, perfect, good.
Okay.
We'll make sure we do that, thank you. So anyway, if there's any questions on the stuff I sent you, but I thought you'd find it interesting, and by the way, it looked like as of this morning, the iGaming bill is probably gone away. The one I sent you, that it's probably not gonna, we kind of knew that possibility. So, we do have a large group coming into town, February 3rd, I believe. Angie's going to elaborate. By that, I mean, what happens a lot is Blue Chip will will bring in a group that they can't house because they've got other options, they've got other use for their rooms, they got other business besides just the folks coming in for that meeting. And they put the overflow out into the community, which is a big deal for our other hotels, our other properties. So we got a big project going there with them, and now Angie will update you on that. But that's kind of cool, and it's going to bring a lot of activity for the area, maybe long term. And lastly, for me, before I start turning it over for reports, would be that Michigan City has been awarded the 2023 Indiana High School Athletic Association Boys Semi-State. And so we've got a group working together with IHSAA and the Michigan City High School to promote that, house people, work on that. So that's coming up. So if there's no questions from me, I'm going to have several people talk here that'll really probably give us some really good insight. Several areas. First one to be, of course, Director of Marketing, Linda
Simmons. Okay, first of all of you at your table got a copy of the 2023 Visitors Guide. So this is out throughout the county. We're still shuffling things around. Also, we have the 2023 Indiana State Festival Guide, which is the smaller booklet that you have. So we buy a page in the festival guide, and as you flip through our visitor guide, we've got some awesome stories. Again, we even had an article on a page on the basketball tournament that we had at the Civic this month. So enjoy with both this as well as our other event, the Great Lakes Grand Prix. Our ITA conference, Indiana Tourism Association, will be in March in Elkhart, Indiana. Each year you can submit a best festival or event or best visitor guide. So we've submitted our visitor guide for 2022 as well as the Great Lakes Grand Prix. The Grand Prix, the best event is based on return on investment, which we did very well last year. So we're excited to sit there and see if we get one or both of those awards in March. A couple other things. I just spoke to Adam quickly. Doolin Media was awarded, as Jack mentioned. They're redoing our website. So Adam, you mentioned we have a meeting coming up this week. I've been out of it, a little bug. But we're real excited. A lot of confidence in Adam. We've seen a lot of his work. So Amy definitely plays a big part with that. And a lot of times, one thing we don't mention with Amy Riley, she's also the digital marketing manager. So she handles the Facebook, all our social media, and so on. And a lot of times, with the heads in beds, I always want to bring that out because she's done such an awesome job in keeping us up to date and talking to the different partners that we have to be sure all of our information. Amy also, along with myself, I'm on the board of the Indiana Tourism Association, and so we've had a Zoom meeting this month, but the next in March at the conference, we'll be there live, and a lot of good things going on for 2023. Just a couple notes that I made. Dale is going to send out an email, but the staff is aware. Our new Dunkin' Donuts on the east side of town will have an opening next week. So we'll send you out the date and all the particulars. If you know, Dunkin' Donuts has been a great partner with us. They love to bring donuts to our different events and so on. And they're real excited. The other great thing with this is that there's nothing like that other than McDonald's, Subway. To have Dunkin' Donuts on the east side on Michigan Boulevard is a huge, huge opportunity for those people who live there and don't want to go all the way over to the south side of town. So that's going to be a big one. And the last thing I have is this month was a celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. And Dale and I had an opportunity, and we were also a CVB sponsor for an event at P&W, which was also at Purdue Northwest in Hammond. They had a great speaker. We broke out into groups with students as well as teachers, just talking about, Martin Luther King and what's happened over the years and even before MLK. And then on Monday, Martin Luther King Day, at the Salvation Army in Michigan City, the Black Business Association had a presentation, and then once again breaks out, which was very well received. And there was also breakfast included with that. And CVB was also a sponsor, so Dale and I both represented the Bureau on that. And so other than that, I'll make it short because I got a cough.
Yeah. Well, great job, Linda.
Thank you.
Thanks for, Linda does such a great job of orchestrating all of the happenings outside of pretty much operation and finances, and making sure that staff are on track with all of that. Appreciate that. So, Amy, heads and beds. Now, as Amy gets ready to talk here, again, Pat asked me to talk about it earlier, but at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. Okay, the numbers is what tell. We can say whatever we want about our performance, about what we've done, but the numbers are there. Amy's going to talk about them a little bit. You heard them reflecting back. What you're going to hear from Amy now is what Pat alluded to, is this year, which you haven't seen yet, and the performance. So, Amy, you want to jump right on that, please?
Sure, yeah. So we're still waiting for the local distribution for December, but as of right now, we know that we're $21,000 ahead of last year, and last year was a record-setting year, so we've had another record-setting year, so we're very excited about it. Those numbers will be pretty high too, so we're going to be, I don't want to guesstimate, or estimate, but it's been a great year, and we just look to increase that next year, just keep that going, so we're very excited about it. We've also been reviewing our occupancy numbers for 2022. We're doing some year-over-year analysis from 2021, 2022, some comparisons. And the occupancy is up 3% this year overall for both LaPorte and Michigan City. That's a total number. We have those graphs though, so if you at any point in time want to see these graphs, I'm happy to send them to you. There's several, so instead of just likes to say killing a bunch of trees, I'm happy to email those or print them out for you at any point in time. But again, occupancy's up, innkeepers is up, gaming, we'll have those numbers here soon too. So we'll have all of those final 2022 numbers to you next month for February.
Okay, good.
I also wanted to let you know that we did visit the hotels in December. We got a lot of positive feedback from our hotels, but I wanted to share just a few key takeaways, some things that are happening right now that are kind of exciting for some of our hotels. So Brewery Lodge is working on an addition. They're expanding their dining and bar area, and they've also added, I need these for I'm not used to the whole computer class yet. They've also added some new spa services, so that's exciting. And then they, of course, still have their brew bus, so it's just a nice all-around experience for our guests. LaPorte Hampton Inn is getting a new facelift, so they're updating their exterior. That should be done, they're saying, within 6 to 8 weeks. So looking forward to that. We were also able, a few of us, to take a tour of the new Aria Resort in LaPorte, which is the old Best Western, and they've basically been closed. So we're really excited about this. They totally gutted their ballroom and are updating that. They're updating their some regular rooms, like the first and second floor. They're starting there, and they're going to open with the first and second floor, and then continue updating the third and fourth floors. But they've also added new fitness, game room, new spa. The new spa is right by the pool area, and it's really nice. We kept doing that. They're also going to open a restaurant. Not sure if I'm supposed to announce it, but I think it's a pizza place. So that's exciting.
On TV though.
Too late.
So anyway, they keep saying within a few weeks. So we're expecting that to happen anytime now. So we're looking forward to getting that. As everybody knows, we really need a full service hotel in LaPorte back working again. So that's going to be a great addition for us. So, and then we meet next week to go over our 2023 goals and all of our happenings for 2023.
Well, I urge the board if you'd like that kind of stuff, to ask Amy for some of those graphs, because, when you come to a saturation point, we've only got X number of rooms. And in order to keep increasing the income, what do? So we twist these things every way but sideways, trying to make comparisons, hotel to hotel, rate to rate, year to year, week to week, literally, to find out how we can squeeze a few more dollars out of our innkeepers and get more heads in beds. And I find the method that they're using now, that Chelsea works on and sends out to everybody, is one of the most useful tools that I have to be able to manage the fiscal part of this business. So take a look at this graphs. I think you'll find them helpful and interesting if you like that kind of stuff. Rick, why don't we have you and Dee talk a little bit about the race, maybe follow up on the dates Pat asked about and the block party?
Sure, well, as Jack said, I should have the P1, both races will be on the same contract like we did last year. Price is going to be exactly the same, so there's nothing, the only thing that will change on that contract will be the dates. And so the first aquacross race in Michigan City will be July 8th and 9th, Saturday, Sunday. The LaPorte Lake Fest race will be the last weekend in July, which is July 29th and 30th, I believe. Here, I got it on my phone. Yes, July 29th and 30th, Saturday and Sunday. Then the following week, August 2nd through August 6th, is the Great Lakes Grand Prix. A little bit of confusion this year that went out social media wise. I just want to reassure everybody, for the Great Lakes Grand Prix, we're going to have a whole fleet. We're going to have Class 1 all the way down to Class 7. So there was some confusion as to, the Class 1s, which are the big boats, the Geicos, well, no longer Geico, but, and Billy Moth's, the Super Cats. There was some confusion, rumors being spread around that they weren't going to come to Michigan City, and of course, that was false because it's one of the best sites and venues in the country. So you can, if anybody asks you about that, set it straight, essentially. Other than that, we're just, right now, we're starting to meet with people. As you know, that this race is a 12-month deal. G, if you want, go right ahead, right in the block. Right.
Yeah, sounds good. First, I'm excited to be, again, part of it. As Jack mentioned, first of all, I'm with Big Life Social Events. That's my company, and I'm a partner. Last year, it was kind of last minute. We only had, a few weeks, really, to kind of get this all together, and considering what we had and this amount of time, we're very happy with it. So coming on board early is going to be awesome. So it's 2 days. The Friday, which is the 4th of August, is actually the first Fridays. And first Fridays here in Michigan City, a lot of businesses downtown, they have special things going on. I'll be working with them once again to get some more people down there. Of course, they'll be at the lake as well. So by both of them working together, we can get some of our businesses a little bit more revenue and exposure. And then on Saturday, like Jack said, we are working on hopefully getting that Taste of Michigan City back, that name. But regardless, bigger and better, and really growing that. We have several new, some food trucks and some other restaurants that have opened that I think that could really gain some exposure by being part of it as well. So it's about the same as what we had last year, very affordable. We've upped it just a little bit on fees, and just by, probably $25, not a lot. We wanted to make sure that everyone has that opportunity in the community, Michigan City, and of course LaPorte too, in our surrounding areas. In the past, I think when I was doing some research, and when Main Street did it, I think their stipulation was within 25 miles. And I don't have anything like that on it, but it is basically that type of parameter. So looking forward to it.
Great, good. Thank you. So then we're talking Michigan City in the race. All three event directors are here, and you're going to get an update from each one. So why don't we go right into Michigan City, Tara?
Well, we're very, very excited about the
the upcoming season. Our schedule was officially put out a few weeks ago, and we kick it off on March 11th. Saturday, March 11th will be our annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, which is always a big hit here in Michigan City. We're going to follow that up on April 8th with our Easter egg hunt. If you have not seen this, you have to come out and see it. It's amazing. Last year we stuffed just over 17,000 eggs. The wonderful people at the Michigan City Senior Center, it's such a great day for them. We pile candy on the tables and they just sit there and stuff eggs and just have a great time with it. So, probably the most amazing thing is we put out 17,000 eggs throughout Fetters Alley, and I think last year it was 4.5 minutes. And every single egg.
Oh my gosh.
And as an event person that has to clean up at the end, it's amazing because I looked out there and there was not a spot of anything in the field. So it's really a fun event. It's Saturday, April 8th, which is Saturday before Easter. And then we roll into probably my favorite event, which is the Singing Sand Sculpting Festival on June 9th, 10th, and 11th. We did move that back a week, so it did not. It wasn't on the same weekend as the high school graduation. Pretty amazing things are happening with that. We've got, of the 15 professional artists that came to participate in that, all 15 have asked to return, and we've had more artists say that they really want to come. So we're trying to determine whether we're going to expand on the professional side of that, which is the masters and the semi-professionals. So that event's really exciting. We're also going to do, and I think I mentioned this before the holidays, but I'm introducing a new amateur competition, and what it'll be, there'll be 20 spots open to organizations, businesses, anybody who wants to get involved, and there'll be a $2,000 fee to be a part of this. But when the organization signs up, they also name their charity of choice here in LaPorte County. They pick a charity here in LaPorte County. $1,000 of that money will go to the sponsorship of the event. The other $1,000 will go into a kitty, so to speak. And at the end of the event, at the end of the amateur program, the winners will name the top 5 winners. $20,000 will be distributed to all of those organizations' charities. So everybody will get money. Obviously, the first place team will get the most money for their charity, but every charity will get money. So we'll be putting $20,000 back into our local charities here in LaPorte County. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to really take this event to the next level. So then after the Singing Sand Sculpting Festival, on June 24th, we have our Kitty Parade. The Kitty Parade's always been a huge part of Michigan City culture, and unfortunately for a few years it went away, but it's back. Really excited about that. That's June 24th. The next weekend is July 1st. That's our Patriotic Parade. I'm an event guy, so I got excited about this. You guys might not, but I got my first registration for the Patriotic Parade a few days ago, and it was from the Fergus Falls High School Marching Band in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Wow, man. So the fact that somebody from that far away said, you know what, they do a trip every year for the 4th of July, and they picked Michigan City. Last year they went to St. Louis for their parade, so they picked Michigan City, which I think is really exciting. It says a lot about our community. So that's July 1st, then July 4th, which is a Tuesday, we have our fireworks spectacular down at the lakefront. Then, of course, the very next weekend, we have the Aquacross here in Michigan City, which we're excited about. The team here did an amazing job with that, and how much it grew last year. Just going to keep getting bigger. So that's July 8th and 9th, and then we roll into the big one, the Great Lakes Grand Prix, which very excited about it this year. I think with Dee's help, I think the block party is just going to keep growing. It's going to get back probably bigger than what it was before. Working with Rick and everybody to try and just keep making improvements to that event from the infrastructure standpoint. That's obviously the first weekend in August. Then we go to Labor Day weekend in September. 1st through the 4th is Oktoberfest. That was a huge success last year, much better than I thought it was going to be. And to show how it's going to keep growing, we had 10 food vendors last year. In addition to those 10 requesting come back, I had another 8 food vendors that want to be a part of it. We had 21 art, craft, and merchandise vendors last year. Hopefully all 20 or 21 of them come back, but I've had 32 additional inquiries about being a part of it. So we could be up over 50 art, craft, and merchandise vendors just in the second year. So Had 41 bands last year. All 41 bands want to come back. We're going to shuffle some things around, bring in some new stuff, but we also have an additional 22 bands that want to be a part of it. So it's growing, which is great, and hopefully that'll help with heads and beds. People will come and spend the weekend and have a great weekend. And then after that, we end up the season with our Festival of Lights, which again this year was a huge success. The parade was twice as big as the year before, so it's just going to keep growing. And then I have some groups that are reaching out to me for some additional events that we're not ready to move forward with yet. We're just starting some meetings. A group reached out about having a Juneteenth celebration. So we're going to look at that, see how we can make that work. So a lot of great things happening. We're just excited, and I'm very excited because the Michigan City Special Events Department is going to double from 1 to 2. Hopefully here in the next couple of weeks I'll be interviewing for a position, which is going to allow me to start looking at some of these larger scale events and have a person there that can keep just the ball rolling while I'm looking at, excuse me, while I'm looking at some of the stuff. Yeah, 12th rep work. So really excited, looking forward to working with everybody and trying to bring more people here to LaPorte County, to Michigan City, and show them what a great place we really have.
Terry, thank you. Great update. Brett, what's the update from LaPorte?
Okay, this might take a minute. Let's see, we'll start out with what we just got finished with, and a quick wrap up with the NIT, sorry, too many acronyms in this place. The NIBC LaPorte Invitational was a huge success from our eyes. Great crowds all 3 days. I would be remiss not to say thank you to the tourism board and Jack Arnett and staff. Without their support, this invitational was not as successful as it was, and probably does not happen. The financial backing alone makes it possible, but the ability of the staff to dedicate 3 days to helping us with this event, and a few of them, it was more than 3 days, we were meeting, trying to go over signage and directional maps, etc., where to park buses. The staff was instrumental in the success, and it kept the little bit of hair I have left on my head there. Without them, I'm not sure how we would have managed the VIP check-ins, the walk-up sales, etc. Just an outstanding job by everybody involved. I think Jack will second this. Raj from Paragon and the NIBC conference itself seemed extremely happy with everything we have this past month. They have committed to coming back in 2024, which is huge for us. Just quick example of what we do. The mayor and Mark Schreiber, the park superintendent, met with a person who has been interested in bringing some semi-pro professional baseball to our city. And he was told to check out the NIBC tourney on ESPN. And all he could talk about was how great LaPorte looked and everything there. And pretty much single-handedly said that tournament, watching it on TV, made him decide LaPorte is probably the right location for him. So those are the kind of things that people don't quite realize events of this magnitude bring to our community, not just LaPorte, but LaPorte County, the CBB, Visit Michigan City, LaPorte, all these things. It's just a great opportunity for us to extend our reach outside of the region to national level. This person, I think, was sitting in Minneapolis watching the games when he saw this. From there, we have hired, as Terry just said, how his department's growing a little bit. We did some interviews, and we're hiring a part-time event assistant for myself in LaPorte, which is much needed. You guys will figure that out in a second here when we start going through dates, but the combination of running this LaPorte Civic Auditorium and LaPorte events is daunting. We feel like 2022 was a huge success, big learning curve. So excited for 2023. I'm already about 4 months ahead of where I was last year at this time, which is great. On top of that, we'll go to our LaPorte events. One of the first things I want to bring up is we've already been meeting for the Lake Fest committee. We're already starting to book bands. We've had two meetings.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
We've had 2 meetings already. We have another one tomorrow. Adam and Katie are both on this group with us as well. We're looking to grow that committee a little bit. So if anybody's looking to join, we'd like to add about 3 bodies to that committee. But those dates are set for, as Rick had mentioned, the Aqua Cross races are July 29th and 30th. And then we kick off on July 28th, Friday, July 28th. Looking to tweak a few things, but we think we've got a great event coming up for you with that. Let's see here. For LaPorte events, let's see, Saturday, March 18th, we bring back the Shamrock Shindig, which is our little play on St. Patrick's Day celebration at the Civic Auditorium. We have an Irish band come in, Celtic Roots. They play some music. We have cornhole going. Milk Kitchen comes in and does some catering for us with like corned beef and St. Patrick's theme. It's a great family event. Music. It's all ages. Highly suggest people check it out. We're in the growing stages. This will be our second year doing this, but we're excited about that. And then let's see here. June 16th will be our first Friday Night Live downtown. That's under a cruising theme. July 7th. These are all Friday nights. July 7th will be the Taco Fest once again. We're very happy. We have a great sponsor that comes back with us every year for that, Arnett Construction, always a huge supporter for us. August 11th will be the second annual Cheeseburger in Paradise. Then Friday, September 15th, we move to a little different location. We'll be downtown on Michigan Avenue the night before the Sunflower Fair. I do have Small Town booked to come back, local John Cougar tribute band. That'll be a great evening to kick off for the Sunflower Fair on September 16th, which last year I think we drew 8,000 to 10,000 people. I believe Greenland Media has some great aerial coverage of Michigan Avenue and how packed it is. It's just a wonderful day in LaPorte, Indiana. With all these events we're having, we're looking at doing more to tie in our downtown businesses. Friday nights, we're going to try to get some of them to stay open. One of the things I kind of had a little epiphany last year during Taco Fest, because you know when you work these events, and I think Terry and Joy and Rep will all agree with me on this, you kind of personalize them, you take it very seriously. And we're looking, and you know, I tried to get a couple of the local Mexican restaurants downtown to participate, and they said they were shorthanded, couldn't do it. So I'm looking across the street, and there's a restaurant called Tacorienda that's on the south side of Lincoln Way. They're right by Monroe Street intersection where we have our Friday Night Lives. I noticed they had set up out on their sidewalk and didn't talk to us, didn't say they were going to do this, kind of rubbed me the wrong way for about 5 minutes. And then I see the line, and it's a block long. And they're probably doing more business in that night than they do in a week or two. And it dawned on me, like, that's what we do. And we're going to try to open things up more downtown for people. If they don't want to, like, set up a vendor booth on Monroe, figure out a way to try to include them in some of the marketing, include them in some of the contests, like the best taco, but that's what it's about. Like, we're trying to grow our community, we're trying to grow the downtown, and those are the things we're looking to do a little more with our Friday Night Lives and that. We may have one in October after the Spooktacular. Amy and I both serve on the Small Town Business Coalition board, and we've talked with them, and they're talking about this past year in 2022, they did some second Saturday events, and you know where they had vendors and that over in the Monroe Street 618 Plaza, and sometimes it almost felt like not on purpose, but it was kind of competing events where we had like the farmers market going on in Stitch and a vendor market over on the plaza or our Friday Night Lives, and we're going to try to like do things where they complement each other and work together and kind of grow it. Maybe they do things over on our side and we tie in with them. But it's a great learning process that we have going on downtown as it continues. Let's see, we have LaPorte Brewfest set up now for November 11th, and the farmers market, we're going to put out the vendor application here in the next few weeks. We're really looking to try to grow that and make it a little more enticing to our local community so we can get a bigger body count down there. Everybody always asks, how do we get more vendors to the farmers market? Well, the answer is you got to get more people. We brought in a few new vendors, the count's down, they don't want to come back. So we have to do something to get the people there. It's kind of the chicken and egg theory there. But we're working on that. So let's see here. And one other huge thing for LaPorte, the 4th of July parade, thankfully is handled by other people, and 2 of them Joy Ziegler is in this room, who I believe has volunteered to do it again with Kiwanis, and the Kiwanis Club, and Amy Riley. They're having their call-out meeting at the LaPorte Civic Auditorium on Wednesday, February 22nd. That's for people interested in helping with this. It is open to the public, although it is a Kiwanis Club meeting. Amy or Joy, do you want to share the time of that?
Starts at 5, doesn't it?
At 5:30,
Oops.
5 o'clock, whenever you get there. And it's not just about coming, not just about coming to help. We're trying to install the tradition and the history of the 4th and the importance of it to our community. We want that out. Some of that kind of left with the JC organization, and we want to try to bring that back and make sure everyone knows how important that it has been for our town for 70-some years to have this parade and to be the capital for the day for just as many years. And the amount of people that brings in for that weekend, for that day. There's a lot. We get so many comments and people that say they come back for that, and it's huge. So that's what this event is about. So we'll be sending out invites in that with more information as we get a little closer.
All right. So January 28th, to the Civic now. January 28th, we have a great concert this coming Saturday at the Echoes of Pompeii. It's a Pink Floyd tribute and laser light show. Amazing show if you're a fan of Pink Floyd music or if you just like that era. And the light show itself is worth the price of admission. It's a great evening. February 4th, inappropriate trivia with Big Comedy. He's sold out. 55 tables. He's already raised $11,000 for charity before we open the doors, so it's a great event and a great company that does great things for the community. February 11th, we have one of the top 50 tribute bands in the country, as was voted on Access TV, the 10 tribute band for Pearl Jam, and How Rude, a 90s tribute, is their opening act. Doors open at 6 on Saturday, February 11th. The How Rude opener starts at 7. Tickets are still available. Tables are still available. That's going to be a great show. And then one we're all excited about. I think Terry's family's already bought tickets for this one. March 10th, we have Jump, which is a Van Halen tribute. They put on the show. They do the jumps. They have a look. It's the real deal. Van Halen tribute with classic rock experience, which covers everything from Queen, Zeppelin, Journey. Everything you'd like. They're a headliner on themselves, but they're opening at 7 for that evening. Then, let's see here, March 24th, we'll be hosting a Family Advocates Trivia Night. March 3rd, we'll be hosting a Youth Service Bureau Trivia Night. March 18th, as I stated, was the Shamrock Shindig. April 14th, we'll be hosting the United Way Lip Sync Competition. April 15th, we'll have a Styx tribute band out of Chicago. With local band Naughty opening for them. And May 20th will be the biggest band we brought in yet. We're bringing in Queen Nation, which is a national tribute band. I appreciate all your support because that was a big one for us to sign. And it comes with extra dollars spent. But the Queen tribute band is going to be our biggest show yet, and that's going to be on Saturday, May 20th. Yes, Mike?
Are the movie nights completely over with?
No, we did movie nights last year and we will do them again. I have not set the dates yet. That's one of the events. I'm hoping that my new assistant director that's been hired and Dawn, who's our assistant at the Civic that's been there over 20 years, she helped with that a lot last year and I'm gonna try to include them in the planning.
Did we ever get a portable?
Yep, we have a portable screen we've used for the last 3 years that was bought back when Thaddeus was still the downtown coordinator. And last year we did one on the Civic Auditorium lawn, and we did one actually in Plaza 618 on a Tuesday night to try something a little different. I think all the snow in Northwest Indiana, when it's warm out, we got stuff to do every weekend. So we were trying to do something a little different and do it on a weeknight, and we did end up having about 100 kids come out. So we may try that again as well. We're just kind of throwing things at the wall and see what sticks and reevaluate and move on. I think that's good enough. What do you think?
Yeah, awesome.
I guess the biggest thing would be, we close down June 10th. Will be our last event until August 26th, we hope. For the renovation, the removal of our seats, the addition of padded seats, cup holders. Most importantly though, I know people like to make fun of the cup holder cushion seats thing, but by doing this renovation, removing those seats, we are gonna going to become more ADA compliant. The aisles will be widened, the seats will be much more comfortable. They do not make 17-inch wide seats anymore. Those are 1929 numbers. We all know, I think all of us have put a few pounds on in the last 80 years, or 90. So that's our big thing with the addition of air conditioning, and we're real excited about that project.
We'll move on with the pound thing now. So, great update. Thank you, Brett.
No.
I knew he was talking to me, that's why. Yeah, we've got one more event update from our county event director, Joy.
I'll make it short and sweet since you guys have way so much going on. Just a quick update on some of the infrastructure projects going on out of the fairgrounds. So everything paid from last year, the speakers and sound systems, including the phone systems at the fair, are all due to be done and ready by Fair Week this year. So all new speakers where they can segregate where they are doing announcements at, so it helps make sure and maintain where they're going, and it'll reach further, so reach out to the campground and areas like that. Also including inside the buildings, they'll have their own PA systems in there, and again, the phone lines and everything through the office will be connected, so it'll all be the bandwidth going in, fiber optic. So that should be up and running and done by Fair Week. The electric uptake for the campground, again, they approved last year to get that and to get the architecture out and all the drawings and all that. That's been being approved. They're working with REMC to try to get some of that cost down for that, but also to have that upgrade done, again, by Fair Week. And then the grandstand bathrooms. I know everyone loves the big porta pots that are always down there, now that they tore that building down. But those plans have also been approved, going down to state for their final approval. We did make a couple changes. We decided to change it to an all-block building, which also means that it can double as a storm shelter, because there is nothing out there that is for that right now. So that'll be a building that can be used for that. So kind of a 2-for-1 deal there. And then the community building is having some major facelifts inside. So all the columns that were in there have all been drywalled in and redone with nice sconces put on there. The ceiling tile has all been replaced and being finished this month, and then the whole inside is getting new paint, and all of that will be finished by the middle of February. So we can start bringing in some more revenue in that building. The floor is yet to be done, but that will also be coming. Some events that I am working on, I am working with the National Horse Show coming in on Mother's Day weekend. We're still finalizing some details with that. And then also we have a couple big car shows that are coming in this spring. Again, we're tentatively working on the dates. They're trying to plan a cruise in LaPorte and get that settled with the city too. So we'll have more dates on then. But just a real fun fact, we kind of went through, because obviously the 4-H is a big component of the fair. So we went through, so from January through June, only 6 months, there is 100 meetings/events going on at the fairgrounds in those 6 months by 4-H'ers, which encompasses over 665 kids and members. So I don't think people realize how much really goes on out of the grounds and how much is used. And that's just the 4-H side of it. There's many other entities out there that use that, so it's a huge investment in our community, but it's also a huge asset as well. So just helping to continue to grow that.
Awesome, great. Great updates, everyone. I beg the indulgence of the board at long meeting. A lot to do in the first organizational meeting, but there was a method to my madness here, getting these reports all out today. You'll recall before COVID, just before we went into COVID, we used to have what we call a CEPF fund, where we funnel money into the city of Michigan City, the mayor, city of LaPorte mayor, and the commissioners, small amounts of money that was going into events. It wasn't part of our best practice. It was something we adopted and we carried over. When events left in COVID, it gave us a chance to rethink the way we do things. And you, as a board, directed at our request that we start putting our money in the direction from our event directors. And I wanted you to hear the results of what you all did. I think it's important that excuse my French, but we stirred the manure pile. okay? We got it moving. Now what are they doing? Okay, they're hiring people with the money, okay? They're adding staff. They're renovating the fairgrounds. And it's all because of the vision that we had here to redirect those dollars and move them that direction. So we got a great group there, and we're pretty proud of them, and that's because of the funding that we put towards that. So the last thing I have, it's, the best for last, but seriously, the gift that keeps on giving, our best partner, the driver of all these innkeeper's tax, gaming tax, is our property here at Boyd Gaming, okay? By far, okay? Everything's great, we do a great job at all of our properties, but the best partner you could have is Boyd Gaming, Brenda, Angie, and the staff out there. So Angie's gonna close up my report by giving an update on Blue Chip, and we'll let you move on.
Well, thank you for that. I don't feel like we've been the best partner these past couple of years with COVID. We're still trying to recoup as well, but truly, again, a lot of things going on in the community helps make it easy for me to sell, for sure. So as we're wrapping up the year, talking about numbers and the events, that we came close to 2019 numbers, and that was huge. For me and the sales department, we added that Fremont Ballroom in October 2019, and then COVID hit that following winter, March. We still have not been able to utilize all of the assets at Blue Chip. We're still struggling with staffing, as you all are. So it's good to know that you're getting interviews and people calling. But yes, as things are looking up and we're getting past a lot of that, certainly with the community standpoint. We've starting off January, as Brett said, the basketball tournament is huge. Definitely huge for the community, huge for the area. Being a sports mom myself, youth sports is definitely there. There's a lot of money involved in that, and so there's nothing better than having a basketball tournament, baseball tournament. You get into these areas, they do not like to go to the first tier cities, second tier cities. So certainly for the amenities that we have in this area, it definitely was well received. So thank you all for your hard work. I just had to put them to bed at night and cover, for them in their mini space. So not to mention all the logistics and the staffing, and it just takes a lot out of you. So, but they were extremely ecstatic about coming back to the area, or to the hotel at night. Had a great tournament, so thank you very much. The next event we have is Nucor, as Jack mentioned earlier. That is huge. That's a new company I've been working on. Nucor is, I don't even know, it's an industry company, and I think they do a lot of engineering. Honestly, can't even tell you. But they're rated top 10 best places to work in Indiana. And so certainly worth working with them. They want to have more of a team member appreciation. We're seeing a lot of that now. The holiday parties are strong, and then a lot of, again, trying to value the employees, getting things back. Everyone's working harder and smarter now post-COVID. So this Nucor company came to us and wanted to have a holiday event, and they turned evolved into more of a team member appreciation. They're thinking about 200 people. Easily we can put that in half of Stardust. Now has evolved to 600 people, and they're putting them up in hotel rooms. Well, Blue Chip, we don't even, out of 486 rooms, we're still not able to open all 486 rooms due to staffing. We just can't. We don't have the housekeeping. We don't have, certainly this event is on February 3rd and a Friday. We can't even flip those rooms to get ready for a Saturday, because their Saturday nights are the most premium, right? Everyone's coming in for gaming. So certainly reached out to Jack and Rick and told them I had this quandary. This group wanted to help out. Rick was real quick to give me back some local hotels and kind of check availability and so forth, because they were going to leave. They were going to definitely look at Kalamazoo. They were looking over in Chicago area, and Northbrook, and even in southern Chicago area. But again, due to the quick response and everybody kind of banding together, we're able to keep them here in LaPorte County. They're using the Holiday Inn LaPorte and the Holiday Inn Michigan City, only because that hotel was able to do a mutual agreement for both rooms at both properties. So Holiday Inn worked well with that. So again, that's coming on February 3rd. So again, reaching out to have a quick response in order to kind of keep that event in in LaPorte County is definitely a big factor. And then bringing all of them here, not to say that obviously we know it's going to be a success, that they'll come back multiple times throughout the year to have meetings and so forth. Again, the number one thing I hear with having any type of regional national event, and you've heard it just the same, that if there's a place that you can put on a map and say what's centrally located, it's LaPorte County. I mean, it's easy to address from Chicago with all the crazy stuff that's going on over there. On the east side of the state, going into South Bend and even Fort Wayne, it's just not easily accessible for those coming in from the west side. So again, it's LaPorte County that continues, makes a success. So nice to hear from Terry that the band of Wisconsin wants to come to LaPorte County, but certainly from an accessibility standpoint, we're hands down and able to utilize that. I talked about the community, talked about our staffing. We got competition coming into the area as well. Certainly with the South Bend Hotel, Four Winds is doing late and opening. They were supposed to open in January. It's going to be in March. So it's going to be interesting to see how that impact is going to affect Blue Chip. Hopefully, again, as we've seen with other impacts and other casinos opening, certainly coming in from the west side in Chicago. But again, it's just hands down. I just can't thank you all enough on behalf of Brenda and the leadership team at Blue Chip that it's the community. And we just know that our guests and clients and everybody coming in from out of town just really enjoys the hospitality and everything that we do here. Certainly Blue Chip, we've just struggled in having the amenities open. Spa isn't open. We don't have options buffet anymore. We don't have a lot of amenities, and still with that, they're going to Sophia's for breakfast, and they're going to Verk's for the gas, and they're going to Meyer, and they're doing all of the shops and everything downtown Fiddlehead and the restaurants there. So again, just it's nice to share the wealth. It truly is. It's because we're crippled. So again, it's just huge. Again, not to be all negative Nelly. I mean, things are on the bright side, right? So we're just definitely looking very optimistic for 2023. Certainly from the sales and events and conventions. Again, relying on the community support and the help with the Convention Bureau. We are looking to have the LaPorte Home Show again back in Blue Chip next month. We have Indiana State letter carriers are coming in April, so this will be their third time. They come every other year. Again, these state associations have many choices to go when they choose to come back here to LaPorte County. So we have a lot of events coming up. Very strong in the union market. United Steelworkers, they're doing a lot of recoup as far as getting their education training to the union members. The mill's hiring. I mean, who knew that the mill would be hiring? They have a waiting list a mile long, and they're trying to get new staff and or new workers coming through. So we are looking very strong, and right now for the forecast for 2023, I'm looking to have better numbers here than before. So hopefully I'll be utilizing that Fremont power much more. So thank you all very much. Appreciate the support. That's it.
One of the most competitive bids that we do with Angie, that she does, her and the sales staff, is the Notre Dame opponents. That's a coup, and we lost them because of COVID. We got them back, got them all back again. That's a big deal. I mean, our hoteliers can name their price on Ohio State weekend. Just tell you right now, all the way across the state. Okay, they can name their price, and that's the benefits. And some of them are going to be practicing here at Ames Field and some other things. But getting the Notre Dame opponents back is a big deal, and that's on Angie and her staff. It really is. So, all right, I'm finally closing up, Pat.
Well, that's a good thing. It's good to hear all the reports, all the activities, because that's what it's about. The Tourism Bureau is our main goal is to bring visitors into this county, and one way you do that is by the events. You get them here, you let them see, and hopefully they come back, and who knows, maybe they make it their residency. So tourism is a driver of economic development. So we're in a very key position in this organization to do some great things throughout LaPorte County. And I just want to applaud all of you for what you're doing as our event coordinators for LaPorte, Michigan City, and the county. Joy is new, but she's been in LaPorte County, so she's familiar. She's familiar with what we have here. I think we're definitely a jewel, and I'm proud of the Tourism Bureau's efforts to let everybody know what a true jewel we are. So
Do we have any unfinished business to report at this time? Yes?
Pat, I just wanted to add, for Dunkin' Donuts next week, if you've driven past the location, it is drive-through only, it's not a walk-in. So it fits in that little narrow area, but it's drive-through customers only, so not walk-ins. I just wanted to get that out, but Dale will include all that in her email.
I have family members that are driving by there every day waiting for it to open. It's crazy. Okay, do we have any other new business? We did the audit report already, but is there anything else that we have to bring to the board at this time? How about board comments? I would just like to say that next month is Black History Month. We do have a Black History Month committee. Marty Corley is the chair of that committee. We're going to be sending out our brochure sometime this week that has all of the activities that the committee has put together for Black History Month, including Black cinema, a talent show, a gospel fest. We have our kickoff brunch coming up, and then we have our end of month celebration, which is going to be a dinner dance, and it's going to feature or do a tribute to the forgotten Black cowboys. Do a little research on Bass Reeves, amazing young man who was a U.S. Marshal in 1875, 10 years after slavery. Just a little bit of history for you. He was phenomenal in his role, one of the top U.S. Marshals in the history.
In fact, the Lone Ranger was modeled after him. The
Yes.
TV show The Lone Ranger was, yeah.
Do a little research on him. An interesting man. So I just wanted to put that out there for you all to look forward to some of our activities that we're doing. And I think we need to maybe get with Terry and make sure we get on your calendar for your events of things that you're doing also. But other than that, any other board comments? Our next meeting is February 28th, 8:30, same place. There are no other comments at this time. I will adjourn the meeting. See you next month.